Hello! Welcome to Yippee Learn, the place where you can learn English semantics and pragmatics. This is the first video I've posted on this channel, so please support me to create more linguistics content by clicking like and subscribe buttons. Since this is the first video, I would like to introduce myself first. So my name is Agnesia Sangka and I am a student from Jakarta International University or JIU in Indonesia, and I'm majoring in English literature. So, what are we going to learn today? You might probably know it already by seeing the timeline of the video. Yes, so we are going to learn about English pragmatics conversational implicature. And here's the table of contents. First, we are going to learn about definition of conversational implicature. Second, we are going to learn about 4 communicational norms. And the third one, which is the last one, we are going to learn the examples of each norm. First thing first, what is conversational implicature? So conversational implicature is inferences that depend on the existence of norms for the use of language, such as the widespread agreement that communicators should aim to tell the truth. So in other words, it is the assumption suggested by the speaker and inferred by the hearer in an exchange situation. Now, these assumptions are not encoded in the words said, but are generated by the interlocutor's cooperation to achieve rational communication. Alright, after we take a look at the definition of conversational implicature, now let's take a look at the 4 communicational norms. So Paul Grice, 1975, he identified 4 communicational norms, which is known as maxims. Now we're going to take a look at these 4. Alright, so there are 4 maxims. First is called quality. So quality is when you try to be truthful when you are communicating. And the second one is quantity, is when you give appropriate amounts of information, which is not too little and not too much. And the third one is manner, is when utterances should be clear. What it means by clear, which is brief, orderly, and not obscure. And the fourth one, which is the last one, is relevance. And it's about contributions that should be relevant to the assumed current goals of the people involved. We're gonna see the definition of each maxim and also the example of it. So the first one is implicatures from the quality maxim. Here's the definition. Quality implicature is a conversational implicature based on the addressee's assumption as to whether or not the speaker is observing or flouting the conversational maxim of quality. So to have better understanding about this maxim, let's take a look at the example. So there's an example here where Artha said that Nino has master's degree. So what does it mean? It means that Artha believes that Nino has master's degree and she has adequate evidence about it. So general agreement of communication is supposed to be truthful. So that's the word that needs to be highlighted in this maxim, which is try to be truthful. Truthful leads to an inference. An inference means an implicature that speakers have justification for what they assert. And then that's for the quality of maxim. Now let's take a look at the next maxim, which is quantity. Now what is quantity maxim? It is an implicature relating to the low end of the quantity maxim. So it is about giving too little or too much information. For the example, there are 2 examples here. The first example is when you give less information, and then the second one is when the speaker give too much information to the hearer. So the first example here, someone asked, "Did you spend your holiday in Bali?" and then B answered no, and then followed by silence. So answering no, it would be true, of course, but it is insufficient. So B should say more information, so her answer won't be considered rude. If we experience this, we might be assume that this person is rude because her answer or his answer is just so plain, like no, yes, right? So we should say more information that's needed to have a good communication. And then the second example here, which when you give too much information. So here someone asked, can anyone use this car park? And then B answered, it's for customers of the supermarket, which means no. So if the car park was for the use of everyone, then that would include the supermarket's customers, and there will be no need to mention them. So B's utterance here appears to offer superfluous information. Okay, so that's about implicatures from the quantity maxim. Now let's take a look at implicatures from the manner maxim. So what does it mean? A manner implicature is a conversational implicature based on an addressee's assumption that the speaker is either observing or flouting the conversational maxim of manner. Let's take a look at the example. For example, when A said, how do I get into your apartment? And then B answered, walk up to the front door, turn the door handle clockwise as far as it will go, and then pull gently towards you. So in the example, A asked a question and B's literal reply is very complicated, as we can see here. So at the literal level, B does not appear to be observing the maxim of manner. So a simple reply, open the front door, would be more sufficient rather than these long sentences. But A assumes that B is being cooperative and following the maxim of manner. So B could have just said, open the front door, but he didn't. So the added detail here must be necessary. So in other words, B was being as perspicacious as he could be. And then the next one is implicatures from the relevance maxim. This is the last maxim. So according to the maxim of relation, or we can call it as relevance, it is a cooperative speaker should not convey any information that is not relevant in the context of the utterance. So for the example here, Yusuf said, my goodness, where is the sausage? I put it here a minute ago. And then Joy answered, your cat is looking happy. It is obvious that in this example, we use the norm number 4, which is relevance. So Yusuf will likely derive the implicature that the cat ate the sausage from Joy's statement. So this is due to Yusuf's belief that Joy is observing the conversational maxim of relevance in the specific context of Yusuf's question. So that is all the explanations about the 4 maxims. So what we can learn from conversational implicature, or precisely in the 4 maxims that Paul Grice found. So the first one, do not say what you don't believe. And the second one, do not say what you can't prove or defend. And the third one, make your comments meaningful. And then fourth one, do not give more information that is required. And then 5, be relevant. And then the last one, be specific. So I hope you can implement these 6 points to your daily life when you have communication with others. And that is all. I hope the material that I deliver about conversational implicature can be helpful and clear enough for you guys. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you.